I just know Drake Maye is going to be a beast.
He's the one that has the highest upside, but he also needs probably the most amount of work. Do they have to release Bailey Zappi now?
So we're back, another episode of the Dan and Ninko Show, episode 128. A big episode because last night, round one of the draft.
Got a whole new
and we have
legacy here.
A new quarterback in town, Drake Maye. And I'm going to clap about it because, yes, I am happy that they have a 6'5".
Drake Lee Harvey Maye.
I don't know who that is. I just know Drake Maye is going to be a beast. And he's going to be a good football player. And he's 21 years old, 21-year-old young kid.
Yeah.
Number one, second rounds today. So what are they going to do? Are they going to trade? Are they going to get a receiver? We need a receiver and we need an offensive lineman. So with that being said, Ayuk. You going Ayuk?
I would rather have Debo.
I would rather see. Here's my question:
you get Debo for less. Like you might have to give up your second round pick right now for Debo.
Here's my question about Debo. I think he's 28 years old, right?
Yeah, I think so.
How much tread is left? Because with the way that he plays, the style of Debo, he's a physical guy. He's not running around. He's going to run through you. They'd use him on a lot of handoff stuff, line of scrimmage stuff, bubble screens. Great for a young quarterback, though, right?
That's why I think
great for a young quarterback. I think you look at Ayuk, and he'd probably be better for an established guy that's not having I guess, not learn, but get adjusted.
Debo gives you the Swiss Army knife type thing that if something's not working right, like you can
reverses, bubble screen,
hang it off to him. You can do a lot of things.
Yeah. So either guy would be awesome.
It'd be better when you got.
Yeah. I mean, either guy is going to be great. You need a tackle though, so they definitely need to try and get a tackle. There was a run on tackles in the early first.
But there was also a lot of like right tackles too. There weren't just left tackles.
Did you see that dude from Notre Dame?
Could barely stand up.
He's 6'9".
Yeah, but he could barely stand up.
He's sore. It happened.
You're sore. You're 21.
Did you see his dad? He played a long time. He had to help him up.
I know, but isn't that scary?
Don't worry about the guy's soreness. He's fine. Did you see him play? Did you see him play?
Yeah, but
what's his name?
He could barely. Joe Alt.
Joe Alt. That dude's a freak, man.
He could barely get up.
6'8". He's huge. Huge.
I understand he's huge. But if at 21 he can't stand out of a chair.
Fine. He's probably
Logan Mankins is out there throwing like hay and like picking cows up.
He's probably sitting there
like 45.
Listen, he's fine. The kid's a freak. And I'm looking at the draft and you're wondering the Patriots are going to have an early second round pick. So
second pick of the
do they trade that? They're going to have to give up that pick if you want Ayuk or if you want Debo.
I don't know if you're going to have to, though. I think you might be able to give up something next year. Like, what would be better to give up? Your second-round pick right now, right, where there's a lot of good receivers and a lot of good offensive tackles right now, or give up your first next year? Hey, guys, wanted to show you one of our new sponsors, Cliffstone Corporation. It was established in 2019, servicing the greater Boston and Northeast region. They specialize in full hardscape, landscape design, and build projects, which include full back and front yard renovations. With their highly skilled team, they have over 40 years of experience. They have built some magnificent outdoor living spaces, which include custom stone patios, kitchens, fireplaces, seat walls, stairs, and beyond. You have to check out cliffstonecorp.com and learn more.
Dude, no, because your first next year, if this team, to me, you have to have realistic expectations on, you have a young first-year quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm not in the mindset of pushing him out there to play. I do like his attitude, though. Do you hear him in his interviews?
Good old boy.
The guy seems like he's a likable guy.
Yeah, that's everyone. They say every teammate loves him.
He seems like a dude that would have a Friday beer. Right? Yeah. He's going to have a few of those. He's got like a Zoe vibe. A little bit. Kinda. Little like that. And he's 6'5". So
6'4".
6'4" and 3/4. That's 6'5". That's like me. I'm like 6'2" and a half. I say I'm 6'3".
He's the quarterback in this draft with the highest ceiling, right? Like he could end up being amazing or be terrible. It's all going to come down to the coaching. And aren't you worried about who is coaching this kid right now? All he's being coached by are people that are being paid by other teams because they got fired from their team.
I think that there's enough resources that if you're Mayo and you have a footwork thing. Like quarterbacks are just like any other position. Okay, you got to work on your footwork. All right, there's people that you could bring in to pay that aren't on your staff, but you come in, you work.
Coaches.
Your
You
own
could go
coaches.
pay somebody else.
What's that?
They don't.
No,
they're not even
you
paying
bring
their
in
own
pass rush
coaches.
coordinator. You bring in pass rush specialists. You bring in. There's guys that are this like that's what they do. They have a distinct thing. This is what I like to do. I'll come in and look. Tom always worked with a quarterback guy. I can't remember that guy's name. The Mannings always worked with that guy out of Duke.
Yeah.
The quarterback guru guy. Like there are guys that work with just. I mean Hoyer. I think Hoyer. Bring in Hoyer. Have Hoyer lives right down the street. Bring in Hoyer just for technique stuff. Like work on your drops, work on your, okay, this is a 3-step, this is your 5-step, this is your 7-step. Ball's got to be out here. Ball's got to be out now. Like I think the timing and the footwork stuff is going to be the biggest adjustment because you can't. And then even if you look at to me, you look at the top picks. When you go at your next level, you're going to jump up a big step here for these young guys. Like, yeah, you're athletic, but you're going to be limited in some of the things you can't do the things that you did in college. So the thing that I like about Drake Maye is he's not looking to scramble.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's not.
You didn't see Belichick's. Did you watch what Bill said about him?
He needs to work on his footwork,
and he jumps out of the pocket too quick.
But he does not jumping out of the pocket to run. He's jumping out of the pocket to throw the ball down the field. Like he's avoiding the pressure that he feels is around him, and he's getting out.
Things though that he couldn't figure out who was open and what read and all that stuff.
20 years old.
I get it. He's the one that has the highest upside, but he also needs probably the most amount of work.
You guys enjoying the show? There's a few ways that you can support the Dan and Ninko Show. First being subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Or you can become a super fan. Go to danandninko.com. First month is 50% off, so it's only $5 to subscribe. That gives you an exclusive chat with Ninko and I on Discord, access to exclusive content, 15% off our brand new merch store, which has some really cool stuff in it, our members only merch, and you get notified when we have special guests on the show.
He's going to need work, but when you're 21 years old and you never redshirted, and a lot of these guys are 24 years old? Penix is 24 years old.
A lot, yeah, because of all the redshirt stuff.
And tore his ACL twice.
I can't believe that the Falcons picked him after they signed Kirk Cousins to all that money.
I don't understand that. So if you're Kirk Cousins, you're sitting there and they say, hey, we're going to draft a quarterback. You're like, oh, all right, probably in like this third or whatever.
They called him when they were on the clock to tell him that they drafted Penix.
Like, I don't understand what is in there unless they're nervous about his Achilles.
Then why would you pay him $50 million a year?
I don't know.
You give him $100 million guaranteed.
It's not good business.
Right?
That's not good business. And you got the owner there.
Yeah, he looked like kind of flustered with the whole thing. Seems like he just got.
That's just going to cause. I feel like that's going to cause. Well, first of all, you give up the opportunity to draft one of these super freak athlete receivers.
You could have got Odunza. Then you could have got a freaking like there was so many things you go and get. Could have got Brock Bowers. Imagine Brock Bowers with
Brock Bowers
with the tight end they have now, Pitts.
Yeah.
You have those
two-headed monster.
Yeah.
I could see how if you're Kirk Cousins, you're frustrated because they didn't. When you take a guy in the first round that's going to be a backup to you, you're not seeing it. There's no benefit there for you on the field.
It's not like you're Jacoby Brissett, right? You know they're going to take a quarterback early, and you know you're the bridge guy, and you know you were brought in to mentor him and everything. But like, if you're going to pay Kirk Cousins $100 million over 2 years, he's there to be the starter.
He's there to be the starter.
So what was a worse decision by the Falcons, to sign Kirk Cousins, to draft Penix, or to pass on Bill Belichick?
Well, Bill, if Bill was the head coach there, he's not. I don't know if he's paying Kirk that much money. Maybe they draft.
But the thing is, but then that would have been fine, right? If you didn't sign Cousins and you drafted Penix there, that's a fine thing, right? Because I mean, you're getting that quarterback that you need.
And they have, from the outside looking in, they have some holes that Kirk Cousins. I was a little confused on why they paid a guy that's coming off an Achilles. It's so weird how guys now after big injuries, they don't. I mean, he's an older guy too, so
Yeah.
he got top dollar coming off an Achilles, and then
He's
you're
like
gonna
always
pay.
got top
So what
dollar.
are they gonna pay him and Penix? What's his
Penix is probably, I think it's
40-ish,
I think it's like in the 30s. For
30s?
years.
So you're gonna have a lot of money in two guys. One guy's not gonna be on the field, and then what's the like? Say in a year, or Kirk Cousins, something happens to Kirk Cousins, and he, whatever, and then Penix goes in and he balls out.
Yeah, I know.
Then you're gonna have to trade away Kirk Cousins and try and not have like massive
$50 million too. You can't trade him.
Yeah, let's
Look at the Broncos, what they're paying Russell Wilson right now to not be the quarterback there.
I don't think. What is their cap hit? I think it's like 80 million.
Then your boy Sean Payton went ahead and took like a second-round pick with like the 12th pick or whatever it was, and Bo Nix.
I think Bo Nix. I think Sean Payton has like Drew Brees in his brain, because when he sees Bo Nix,
it's like, what's Drew Brees again?
All right, he's a 6-foot white guy that had started 60 games. Smart, really smart guy. Let's bubble screen guy, quick hitter guy. Yeah. Let's go get him. Let's go get him, because if we don't have a quarterback. So it was obviously the first picks are the first picks. You knew one was going to be one. You knew two was going to be two. The Patriots, you knew where that was going. That was the biggest curveball.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Was the quarterback run.
Well,
then the Kansas City Chiefs. So the Bills trade, and then the Chiefs get the fastest man in the history of the combine.
But why would the Bills need a wide receiver? Why wouldn't they take a wide receiver there?
I mean, maybe they have to be in play for one of the receivers, Debo or one of those guys. They have to.
Maybe. What if they're not?
I mean, they would have to be.
Yeah.
Like you lose Diggs, so
Josh Allen's got to be pissed, right?
They're going to do something. They have to do something.
Yeah, I think you go back to the Falcons that I forgot about. Don't forget, too, the Falcons are going to lose a first-round draft pick probably next year for the tampering stuff with Cousins.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I mean, they're going to lose multiple draft picks, they said, for tampering with Kirk Cousins. I mean, the Dolphins lost like a first and a third for the Tom Brady and Sean Payton thing. So you're going to lose at least a first-round pick, and then you just wasted a first-round pick in a sense, right?
I feel like the real crazy stuff that's going to start is today, because you have all this time leading up to when the draft starts again. So there's going to be all the trade calls and the movement, and you find the diamonds in the rough in your third, fourth, fifth rounds, guys. Because right now, if you need a tackle, say the Patriots draft a tackle, are you confident that guy in the second or third round is going to be a starter?
Yeah, no, but why don't you just go get like David Bakhtiari or something like that?
He's had knee issues. The guy's missed so many games.
If you draft, like, say, a third-round tackle, and then you have him there,
he's going to want... The crazy part is...
You got $50 million to spend.
Not if they get Ayuk. They're going to have to pay him top dollar.
Still have 20.
The only way that he's going to come here is if he gets crazy paid.
Well, he doesn't care where he goes on. Like, he just wants his pay because he's on the franchise tag.
So the receiver market is going nuts. I mean, A.J. Brown making more in a year than I did in like
plus 10 million.
6 years. But that's just what the market is. So I guess you have to look at it and realize, like, if we pay whoever we're paying right now, the market in the next 2 to 3 years is going to continue to go crazy. So
but that's why I think
you pay somebody now. I mean, look at Judon. Like what he's making. No, but I'm saying, like, look at what Judon's making versus what the pass rush market is going to go to.
I think he's making $6 million this year or something like that, or $7 million.
Something that guys are making north of 25.
Yeah, they're going to have they'll have to pay him something. I thought he might be traded last night, to be honest with you.
The only problem that he has is his age. He's a guy that's...
Well, that's what I mean. But if you could get like a second-round pick for him...
Yeah, but then who's your pass rusher? They
need have all the young... You still have
they need
rusher.
another... Their defense is going to be good this year, but they definitely need a couple pieces that are going to get older and then, you know, when your
Then you gotta
your
go-
old guys leave or
They need
your
to go
old guys
sign
leave.
like Gilmore right now as a
I
corner.
like Gilmore. I'd bring in Gilmore.
Yeah.
Gilmore, Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Like that would be.
And then you still have the younger guys behind them. You move Jonathan Jones back to the slot where that's where he's best at. And you have a pretty good team then on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, if you get Deebo Samuels and you can figure out that left tackle position, you might be okay enough because even Deebo helps out if you start Brissett, right?
Yeah.
Because you can use him in that role to create offense, which you don't have right now.
I think if you look at the skill set of this defense, and I like Drake Maye, what he said after he got drafted. They asked him about, you know, the Patriots not being an ideal place for a young quarterback.
Yeah.
And he said, well, they got a great defense that doesn't let the other team score a lot of points. Like my job is to come there and try and score more than the other team. I don't exactly know what the quote was. I'm not, don't quote me on it, but it was on
a shot at Mac Jones a little bit on.
Like,
I mean, if
the
Patriots
defense doesn't let the team score a lot, like I'm here to try and
if the
and
Patriots
whatever I got
score
to do,
a touchdown more a game, they win 10 games last year, 11 games.
which is kind of wild. But you know, I look at this new group, and with Mayo as the head coach, the one thing that I would say that is great for a younger player is you could kind of be you could be a little bit more yourself.
Yeah.
You don't have to have some of those, you know, I'm just going to work hard and, you know, you're talking and you're thinking about what I can and can't say.
But that can backfire though on you too. It can backfire
It can.
either way. Like
It
if
can.
you have it be like, you know, we're just
Or it could be
working.
like, you know,
Like who?
like Juju. Did you see that thing?
Yeah.
Like, what the heck is that? What the heck? Like, is that an
pretty tame
accident?
for him though? He does shit like that all the time.
The picture?
I think he
picture
might be
thing?
traded.
We'll see. I mean, if you're another team,
But
you're
here,
not really
if you're-
given.
But if you're a team that's at least pretty decent and you miss out
And
on
you
a
need
wide
like
receiver,
you need like a 3 or 4.
you give up a seventh round pick for him.
Yeah.
The Patriots are off the contract, right? That frees up another $10 million probably in cap space.
Yeah.
You fill that with Debo. Because I mean, if you could get Debo right and not trade your second round pick, you could either
That's
get another
huge,
tackle
because you
or
get
another
Debo
wide
and a
receiver,
tackle.
or another wide receiver. And
Yeah.
then you could become really good. The only good thing about Drake Maye is that where he's mobile, if your line isn't as great, at least he can extend the play, get outside the pocket, and make the throw. I mean, it'll be different for New England, right? Because you'll be able to have these. You're gonna have a quarterback now that you see all these other teams have, right? That the play breaks down, he scrambles outside, finds a guy 40 yards down the field, and hits him.
I think it was Bussin' with the Boys or one of these other things on social media, but they put a picture of, I think it was like 3 Spider-Men. It was Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I think it had, who was the other quarterback behind Mac Jones?
In the draft?
No, he was already here, but I don't know why they put his face.
Zappy?
Not Zappy. It wasn't Zappy. He went to Denver.
Oh, Stidham.
Was it Stidham? I think they had Stidham up there, and then they had Drake Maye, and it was like they were pointing at each other.
Yeah,
It doesn't make sense to me.
Drake Maye's,
Yeah,
he's
he-
not the
like,
same. I mean,
His arm strength, and even people calling in. Like I was listening to 98.5 on the drive in, and there's the fan base that's like, why do we get Drake Maye? He's a project, blah, blah, blah. Mac, just similar to Mac. I'm like, no, the kid is not similar.
They're not similar.
He's got an arm. He can get out of situations with his legs. He's fast. He'll outrun people.
That's the dumbest thing,
like,
is to say that he's like Mac Jones. Like
that he's similar at all.
Yeah, they're just
the
not.
kid is way bigger. He's got a cannon. Can throw the ball
He can
50
run.
to 60 yards, just
He
like
can run.
flick of a wrist. Yeah, and he can run. So
Improvise play.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy that they stuck with that third pick.
Yeah. That's.
And
I
I
don't
was
really care who
nervous that they
took.
would trade back.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Say, for example, you think, oh, we'll trade back,
I
and
know.
Penix is there, and then
They're all gone.
they're all gone, and then you're literally sitting there, and you had to go
Yeah,
get
left tackle.
Bo Nix or something.
Yeah.
That would have been a
You'd be
really
fucked.
bad situation that I don't think you come back from. So to stay at 3, you know what you're going to get. well, you know potentially what you can get. So the ceiling is very high.
It's like that with any draft pick, though. There's
It
no
is.
draft pick
It
that
is.
comes out that it's like,
You know what's crazy to
they're
me?
great.
And I'm not used to this yet, but I know these kids are all making money. It's crazy to see like JJ McCarthy sitting there with the Rolex on, and all these guys have sick watches, crazy like Porsches,
It's like your boy.
yeah,
Caleb
painted
Williams.
nails.
What would be more of an embarrassment? I wanted to ask you this one.
I don't. So the whole paint. So my nephew's 20 years old, right? He doesn't paint his nails, but there is a little like weirdness going on here with these young kids.
Caleb Williams.
They're just like, hey, I'll do this, I'll do that. The social media thing is insane. I don't understand it. Just how they interact with each other. But hey, at the end of the day, when he was dude's first overall pick to Chicago itself. Now that's the type of city where if you win football games, they don't care.
Yeah,
They'll build you the Taj Mahal.
The minute you lose one.
Well, if you lose a few, I don't think Jay Cutler even. I think if he has to drive anywhere close to the city, he's like, I'm gonna go around, because if you
states.
don't do well, they are very tough. Similar to the Boston.
Want to kill the kicker? Like FBI.
I was at the double doink game.
Yeah,
but they embrace. I mean,
yeah, but
Jim McMahon doesn't buy a beer in the city anytime he goes there. It's like if you win, you're forever embraced. But if you don't, it is not a good situation to be in.
What's a more embarrassing moment, do you think, that in football? Would it have been the Caleb Williams crying on his mom like uncontrollably, or the Mac Jones screaming being carried off the field?
Well, I've been in situations where I've cried on a football field from injuries. So I
mean, they're both crying.
The crying thing from injury. I have had moments where I cried, but I thought my career was over. So that was probably the one where I tore my knee up. That was pretty bad. That sucked.
Did
I don't
you have
like
to get
that.
helped off the field that way though?
No, they had to cart me. Put me on a cart.
But at least you couldn't get up though, right?
Yeah,
like you didn't sprain your ankle.
Flamingoed.
You didn't sprain your ankle, right?
I didn't play for like 3 more years. But that sucked. Well, I got back in 8 months.
So what's more embarrassing, you think, the Caleb Williams or the Mac Jones?
I mean, it doesn't seem to mind. The Chicago doesn't, the people drafting, they're just like, hey, he's upset. He's emotional. It's okay. You have to embrace the emotions these days. There's these mental, what is it called? The mental, we have to be.
Mentally tough?
No. We have to be in touch with one's mental and physical emotions of,
but if you're
embracing people's emotions.
Let me ask this.
Isn't this 2024?
If you're in a locker room, forget like the talent level of the player. Who would you more want to play for after watching Mac Jones get off of the injury that way, or Caleb Williams crying on his mom?
I would like to, what was the context of him crying?
He lost.
Did they lost?
Yeah.
Did he play terrible?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Utah. Like he never beat Utah.
You got to know the situations, because, for example, it's back to emotions. Back to the emotions.
Question.
What if you're playing on a certain date that reminds you of
you can't do that.
A family member, and you're emotional?
Saying, if you're just sitting there watching, you're on the field next to this guy.
That's
the one you go in the locker room with.
First,
who would you rather go in the locker room with?
A guy that throws more touchdown passes.
I'm saying that you're not taking into account.
You have to take into account performance. That's what football is.
No.
Football players, I've been around some weird guys. Like, I've been around some kooky kind of dude. But Ricky Williams, I played with Ricky Williams, right? Ricky Williams, great guy, really soft-spoken guy. He would spin water, and like he had this like big container that he would dump water in, and it would like do something it would molecule change the water. And the guy never wore shoes. He was always like barefoot. I'm not saying that he did, but I want to say maybe his nails were black. Maybe he did paint. I think he
did. Actually.
Something.
I think you're right.
But the dude, no, he put a wedding dress on, didn't he?
Didn't
he put a no?
Oh, maybe Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams was with
though.
No, Rodman did too. But do you think the teammates frowned upon Rodman because he colored his hair, put a dress on? No, the dude was beast. Like the dude was balling, you know? So
Yeah, Ricky Williams wore a wedding dress with
Yeah,
the Mike
well,
Ditka,
that was the Ditka. That was the
ESPN cover.
married
Yeah.
because of the draft. Because talk about a bad draft. He gave every pick away for one
Well, look at
player.
Did you see that thing on Carolina that the owner, there was a restaurant that put out like, please just let the coach and the GM make the pick tonight. And he went into the restaurant and flipped out on them.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you see? I think his son was in a neck brace.
That's the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, that is.
Yeah. That con.
Yeah, that guy.
They get a beer.
Do we have one?
I think so.
You guys enjoying the show? There's a few ways that you can support the Dan and Ninko Show. First being subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Or you can become a super fan. Go to danandninko.com. First month is 50% off, so it's only $5 to subscribe. That gives you an exclusive chat with Ninko and I on Discord, access to exclusive content, 15% off our brand new merch store, which has some really cool stuff in it, our members only merch, and you get notified when we have special guests on the show.
I'm tired from traveling. A lot of traveling. Well, Disney, took the kids for break, went to Disney, Universal first. You know, the one thing I realized, I can't do roller coasters anymore.
You're talking about this, so.
What? Oh, let's go.
It's Friday.
It is Friday. It's Friday night. It's actually Friday noon. But, yeah, I did the Hulk. I went to Universal. You ever been to Universal?
Yeah.
I've never been, so I went on a couple of the roller coasters, and
Good stuff.
it is. Let's see, this is a
believe
very
you-
drinkable beer. I
you
love
gave it
this
a
beer.
6.
No, it's a 6.8. It's a solid 6.8. Would I give it a 6.8?
Give it like a
It's solid
6.0.
because it's so drinkable. It's drinkable. Like you can drink 20 of these.
Higher grade.
So anyway, first time in Universal. Universal is a lot smaller, a lot of stuff for the kids, but for me, the big roller coasters, I grew up in the Chicago area. They had Six Flags right there. They had Batman. They had all the crazy stuff, and I used to love to do all that. I went on that. I went on the Hulk, and it puts you up, and it is smash. Bro, that thing flipped me like this. I thought I played like 100 snaps. Like,
You're all
rattled my brain up pretty good. And then you do the flips, and I get off that thing, and I had to check the pulse. Make sure I wasn't in an AFib. They got the signs. If you have high blood pressure, check. If you get motion sickness, check.
CTE possible.
Check possible. So I was done with the roller coasters. So everything else was cool. We had fun. Then we went to Disney. Met my mom, sister. Just walked about 30 miles. Great vacation.
You go to fucking like Disney. Do you like have like custom T-shirts made up too, like for each trip that everybody wears?
Yeah, we might have some T-shirts. We might have the Ninko crew. This time we did like
Ninko thing 1, thing 2, thing 3.
That's
thing
that's
4.
Universal. That's Universal.
Okay.
Don't mess that up. This time we did like Mickey racing team.
A very Ninko Mickey.
It was a very so red
Vacation.
red shorts, white tee.
So you all wear matching stuff?
Yeah. I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate it. Don't like it.
You're
I love Epcot
you're
though.
at Disney like every other month.
I mean, I enjoy it. I don't mind it.
I can't fucking stand Disney. Oh,
Why?
the fucking line.
No, you don't do the lines. You don't go. Well, I did go in August, and that was very hot. Captain Insano went. I didn't think he was gonna.
I
didn't think he was gonna make it. He did though. He was
pushing
there.
the stroller and everything.
Yeah,
I
Captain
hate
Insano.
it.
He had a heart procedure. He's okay though. No problems.
I lived there, and that was awful.
Well, yeah, I see like Orlando in general now. I guess because 300,000 people move there a year.
Yeah,
It's nuts.
Yeah.
The traffic, just getting from the airport to Orlando, there was traffic at 10 o'clock because Everett had
I'm going to Kissimmee though.
Is that what they're going? Everyone's going to Kissimmee?
No, that's kind of where Disney is.
Oh, it's right there, right
Yeah,
next to
it's
it.
not technically in Orlando. It's Lake Buena Vista.
Yeah. But anyway,
It's awful.
you gotta. When's the last time you went? Do the kids like it though? You're supposed to do it
Somewhat.
for aren't you supposed to do it for the
I
children?
went like it was like still like kind of during COVID was the last time I went, like 2021, 2022, something like that. You'd wear a mask.
Oh, that's bad. Can't wear a mask when it's
Like
a million
April.
degrees. You
It's
just,
hot.
I tell you what, though, you get a better understanding of, the economy's not that bad. They talk
No,
about
because how much
people
that
are
is?
people are there
Fucking-
just,
It's like
it's
$2,000
insane.
a day.
it's insane, dude. I bought like 3 beers and it was like $40. I was like, what? Jeez, I thought Disney. I'm not
The
working
meal
for Disney
plans are like
anymore, but
$300 a person.
seemed like the economy's strong.
Yeah.
This place is
People
loaded.
everywhere.
People are, this place is packed. There's lines, 80 minutes.
It's like
Like,
$8
who
for a
the-
bottle of water.
It is. It's.
Yeah, no.
I don't understand if you look at that little clock thing, because I don't do. They have it by the ride.
Yeah.
You have a fast pass lane, and then
Yeah.
you have like the wait time, 90 minutes.
I know.
120.
Wait there. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're gonna sit here for 2 hours to go on a 5 to say 5 max 5 minute, like the whole start to
I
finish.
forget what ride we were on the last time we were there, and they didn't have those signs that show you how far away. Like,
Oh
or
no,
what.
yeah.
They couldn't even use those because
Because
the
it was
line was
too-
so long. So
no.
they had people standing there with signs. There was one side said like 2.5 hours, and people just stand there. I'm like,
No.
what the fuck are you doing?
I don't. I mean, there's the crazies, the Disney crazies.
You're one of them almost.
No,
You have the matching.
I don't have the.
Matching clothes.
I don't have the. What is that? You're like an annual pass holder. I don't have.
You're getting
that.
close though, aren't you?
I told Paige. I said, let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's wait a little bit, maybe a year or two. Let's go back
You're going
in
going
2
2
years. I'm not going back in 2 months. It'd be too hot. It was already 90.
months. I know.
It was 90 degrees.
It's always hot. in
You were at the
Florida.
Celtics. How was that game?
It was good. They lost.
Why did they lose?
Porzingis was terrible.
Really?
He was like 0 for 9 from the field. I mean, Tatum and Brown had good games, but Miami shot 60%.
They played
from
tonight, right?
From 3-point. I think it's tonight. Yeah,
They better not lose.
they shot like 60% from the 3. Like you just lose those games.
If they don't, well, I thought this was going to be like a sweep, a quick sweep.
It never almost is in the NBA anymore because like the 3-point shot, like if somebody's just shooting, they hit 60% of their 3-point attempts. They had the most threes in their franchise history in a game.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I mean, there's nothing you can do with that. And Porzingis was bad, like bad.
Well, we got the Bruins at least. They're doing well.
It's 2-1.
I know. At least it's 2-1. It's not 1-1.
Well, yeah, but who are they going to put in goalie? Then you got the Red Sox that like every single player in the team's hurt. 4 starters.
I mean, you
pitching
didn't
it.
have. I mean, I know you had very positive thoughts about the Red Sox, and
They're above
everyone else
500.
thought they weren't going to do anything.
They're above 500. They're playing well. They have the best starting ERA
I
in
understand
baseball.
that, but this is a long season here.
Yeah,
Got a
but they're
long
hurt.
way to go.
Well, they keep getting healthier
How
and
the
healthier
hell do you
and
get
healthier.
hurt with like in 5 baseball games?
Christian Cassis swung a bat and fractured his rib.
That's these guys in their power.
That's the problem.
Just too much power.
That's what it is. They
Just-
take so many swings. They throw so many pitches.
It's like Tiger Woods. Tiger Woods tore his ACL swinging a golf club. You know how many times you have to swing a golf club
I know.
to like fray your ACL?
And
A
then
slow,
slow phrase each time.
slow, not a quick tear like football. It's like a. Well, I'm tearing it more. Might as well just go for 350.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. It's wild.
You see how they're going to make Happy Gilmore too?
Pretty excited about that.
So am I.
Yeah, it's made of wood, real strong.
Saying like Tiger Woods might be in it. He might play Chubbs' son.
No.
That would be.
I would
awesome.
love it. I did. Well, when I took the kids, I was driving the kids to school, and I did my back to school. Billy
Yeah.
Madison. I love Adam Sandler. He was the best back when I was
Stop
a kid.
making good movies though.
Back to school, to show dad that I'm not a fool.
I really hope that they actually finish this Happy Gilmore too. Though.
I mean, his movies actually, if you watch Grown Ups, it's really dumb, but I enjoy it. I kind of enjoy it. There's some movies that you're like, okay, that's terrible. But then the Uncut Gems one was actually really good.
yeah, it was a good movie.
He's done some good stuff where it's not a comedy,
Yeah.
but then he does like the goofy, stupid shit.
The other one was good. The other basketball one he did. What was the name of it? Yeah, is that what it is? The one that he's the scout, and he finds, yeah, he played for the Celtics.
He's got one that's like
it's a
space
Netflix,
one.
really good.
He's got one that's like he's in outer space with like an alien.
That's that one.
Hustle.
Hustle. That's really. Have you seen that?
Yeah, Hustle's really good.
I like that movie a lot. You like that one, TJ? Yeah. I like
TJ, type in Adam Sandler space movie. I hear this one was good too, and it's like his movies pop up under the radar, and I don't even remember hearing about it.
He makes so many of them. Now he's got like his kids in every one too, his wife and kids. Like every
Spaceman. There you go. What's the Rotten Tomatoes on Spaceman?
It can't be good.
I mean, I heard it was decent. What's the score?
50.
65.
That's not too great.
I used to love when I get 65 on a test.
What?
Yeah.
You see it in California? I meant to bring that up.
65.
You see California is changing grades?
What?
That it's like an A now is like an 80 or above.
No, that's a B, man.
A B is 60 to 80.
A B is 60 to 80?
Yeah, like a C is like
I love
40
that.
to 60. A D is like 20 to 40, and an F is under 20.
Holy shnikes. I wouldn't have had such a,
Straight A student.
I would have been great. I'd have been
All
perfect. When I 60, I was like, damn it, I got a D. But like 70 to 78 was like a good, okay, at least I got a C.
What would Captain Zano say about it?
Don't fail.
That's all I cared.
Just don't fail. Don't quit. Don't fail. Okay. I'm not failing. I'm not quitting.
Got a D.
Well, D's
now
are
it's
bad.
a B. A D
If I was in California and I was getting straight D's, which were B's, I'd be freaking pumped. I wonder why they would do that. Because they would have too many people failing?
No, it's because the problem with society is like you're trying to reward people for less. It's not fair.
But
to
what
hold
if
people
you
to a
have
higher
too many
standard.
kids that aren't passing? Is that reflecting on the teachers? If you don't have
How
enough
can
kids
you
that
not
are
pass if you just have to get a 20.
No, but I'm saying that's it. Like if you don't have, maybe they had a lot of kids that were way under on GPA and all that, and then they put that to where those kids are now going to be getting C's instead of
To not
F's.
hurt people's feelings. It's like, they don't give F's anymore. They call them like NCs or something like that.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah.
No credits?
Yeah. They don't call it an F anymore. Right? That's what it is, TJ, isn't it?
I was at Purdue. I'll tell you this. We have a fun story time. I don't know if I've ever, maybe I have. So I'm at Purdue. I have this math class, advanced algebra trig. Well, because Purdue is like a genius world of people that are there for architecture and they're freaking engineers, and it's an engineering school. I go into this class and Asian guy walks in, and first thing I'm like, yo, what the heck? I can barely understand this guy. Oh, we got to match. I said, okay, here we go. Taking notes. Bang. Taking notes. Perfect. Everything. I look over, the kid's sleeping. I tap him. I say, hey, yo, you got all this? He goes, yeah, I did this advanced stuff in high school. I said, what? No way. So I get a tutor, do the whole thing. 3 hours, tutor. They only had 2 tests for the whole semester. 2 tests. If you fail one test, you're screwed. So it's 10 questions. Do the test, all confident. I write it out. You got to write everything out. Work it back in. Work it right back in. It all works out. Everything's perfect. You could take the answer, put it in the question, and make sure it works both ways. Perfect. You know what Purdue does? They screw you by, if you mess up a step, it is potentially one of the question, like one of the answers, because it's multiple choice, but you got to have your work there. I think I got 1 out of 10 correct. I got 1 out of 10.
You'd be failing still in California standards.
I got 1 out of 10, and it was like a, I don't know, whatever, 10% like F, fail, and then I would have had to. I'm like, all right, I got to drop the class because you only have 2 tests. So that was tough. That was not
Special
easy.
needs kid.
That was not easy.
Yeah, why would you be
I'm
in that
not
class?
because that's one of the math 153, algebra trig.
The Atlanta GM just had a comment
Oh.
on Penix. He says, if he sits for 4 or 5 years, that's
What?
a great problem to have because
No,
we're
it's
doing
not.
so well at that position.
Who is this guy? Where do they give these guys? Where do they get these GMs from?
Terry Fontenot.
Terry Fontenot?
Yeah.
Where was he at before?
No idea. Never heard of him.
If he sits for 4 to 5 years, that's a good thing.
Good thing.
The guy will be 30 years old and never play a snap,
We'll save him from his 2 torn ACLs.
which is on the one knee, which is kind of crazy. That sucks to tear an ACL twice in the same knee.
He came from the Saints. He was a scout for the Saints in 03 to 2012. Director of Pro Scouting 13 to 19. Assistant General Manager and Vice President of Pro Personnel in 2020. And then 2021 became the
I
Falcons.
think I know him. What's his name?
Terry Fontenot, right there.
I remember him from New Orleans.
Did he tell you it was okay to sit for 4 to 5 years?
I do remember Terry. Wow. Well, he's 43. He's pretty young. He started. When was his first year in New Orleans?
2020. New Orleans, 2003.
2003?
Yeah.
And he's 43? So he was 20 years old? How long ago? 2003.
He was 23.
That's pretty young to start out. I wonder what he was doing there. Like pro scouting or something.
Yeah, it just says Pro Scouting on here.
Oh man. It's going to be interesting to hear.
Went to Tulane. Captain of Tulane.
Yeah.
That's just a dumb quote. Like,
Well, maybe he followed it up with something. That's the one thing about modern.
Still, though, but the 8th pick in the draft. I get if Drake Maye sits this year, I get that for the Patriots. But that would be the max, wouldn't it? If he sits for more than a year, then you got a problem, don't you?
If he sits for more than a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
No. So let me ask you this: what do you think they have to do with? Do they have to release Bailey Zappi now?
You guys enjoying the show? There's a few ways that you can support the Dan and Ninko Show. First being subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Or you can become a super fan. Go to danandninko.com. First month is 50% off, so it's only $5 to subscribe. That gives you an exclusive chat with Ninko and I on Discord, access to exclusive content, 15% off our brand new merch store, which has some really cool stuff in it, our members only merch, and you get notified when we have special guests on the show.
Interesting.
They kind of have to, don't they? Because kind of like he seemed like he tried to like sabotage Mac and stuff like that.
I wouldn't say that he sabotaged. I feel like he was. Football's crazy in a sense of you might be better than the guy that's in front of you, or think. Well, for me, I mean, just speaking for myself.
Yeah.
Any position that I was in, I would look at the guy that was ahead of me, and he might have been a first or a high dollar guy, and I thought to myself, like, I could beat that guy out. Like, I'm better than that guy. So it gets tough when you have a situation where the guy like Zappi and Mac were kind of similar in a sense of when they both got on the field, it didn't look great. Yeah, like it didn't look great. So he's looking at it in the sense of like, I'm trying to be the guy. If he's the guy, I could be the guy. Like we do all the same stuff. And then when I got on the field, when he got hurt,
Drake Maye.
No, I'm saying with Mac.
Yeah,
like that was his mentality. Like I think I
can't say that with Drake Maye.
No, like I think I could beat that guy out. I think Mac, you look at players and it's just normal to do it. Oh, I'm faster here, or I can bend the corner better, or I'm better in this position. Like now, if you're Zappi, you walk in the room and you're like, "Whoa, shit, okay, Drake Maye, what's up, dude? 6'4". Hey, let's throw a little soft toss, and the dude's just like flicking the ball.
Let's see who can throw it further.
Yeah, the dude's like
just walks out.
Which I tore my rotator. I think I need surgery from my arm's never the same. But like, you just have to have. Now, this is where I talk about our society, just a realistic expectation. So he just needs to realize, okay, like we have Drake Maye is the 3rd overall pick. He's going to make what, $40 million contract, I would assume. I don't know. 35,
37.
Okay. So he's going to get that much money. I'm basically playing for minimum. And then you brought in Jacoby for what, $7 million?
Yeah. Well, Jacoby's a starter, right?
Yeah. So you just have to know and understand, like, this is my role.
Yeah.
And this is what I have to do. So if I am in this position, I try to put myself in a spot where if it's training camp or we're doing preseason game or we're practicing against another team, I can.
Yeah, but he's going to have no shot, though, of playing.
No, but I'm saying put myself in a position to go somewhere else to get picked up or.
That's what I mean. I think they have to release him or trade him.
I wouldn't say they'd release him. I'd say you go through the offseason, you need 3 quarterbacks. You're going to have 3 quarterbacks. Don't they have 4 right now?
Signed that Rourke guy, the guy from the CFL.
That's right.
XFL,
That's right. So you're going to have your depth because you're going to have 90 guys on the roster. You want to go through, OTAs, you go through camp, you go through training camp, you go to your preseason games and hope that I'm going to show up enough to where another team sees my tape and they're like, hey, okay. I think the only reason that I stuck around in the NFL for 3 years without actually playing was just my preseason tape. Because I would lead the team in sacks in just the preseason, get cut, and then a team would, like the Patriots signed me because I probably had good production in the preseason. So if he could go out there and just have a decent showing, quarterbacks, at least if you have in between the years and you're able to.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think he gets traded or cut. And he's not going to be, I don't think, on the roster
this
when the
year.
season starts, yeah.
No, he's not. But
got cut
that's the NFL, man.
Yeah.
But I think that's because there was that. You don't want to have your fan base chanting Zappy when your starting quarterback comes back from an injury, then to take him out of the game and put Zappy in.
The only thing is, fan base is going to be chanting Maye the minute like Jacoby throws a pick or something like that. It's just going to be Maye.
That's
Maye,
we also
Maye.
need some patience. Okay,
Yeah.
Let's have some patience because you don't want to be sitting October 1st and the whole, every radio station, every article in Boston is writing that we have a 3rd overall pick sitting and he needs to be in the field right now.
Yeah, there's a good chance that he sits. I mean, obviously, if he makes the big improvements during camp and it's just undeniable, you got to put him in, obviously. But unless he makes, you can't put him in unless he makes those major improvements. You're better off waiting a year and let him make the improvements over time, as opposed to rushing him out there. There's no reason to rush him.
What if he comes into training camp? So what if you go through OTA's offseason training camp? He looks amazing. What if he looks awesome?
Then you got
and he's ahead of schedule. What do? You
got to put him in then.
That scares me.
I understand it
because Jacoby, I love Jacoby. I think he's going to be a good guy for what this situation entails. But if you put Drake Maye and Jacoby next to each other, like Jacoby's not a guy that's going to avoid pressure and run out of the pocket, and his delivery isn't
going to make the 55-yard throw.
He could throw, but it's just like his delivery is longer. Yeah, like Drake May's got like a whip. It's just like comes out of his hand. So I think that's going to be a tough situation. And then also the draft. I think today is going to be a huge day. Like, do they get it? Do they trade?
I think it's like,
do they get a crazy number 1? Go get that number 1, then go get a tackle.
But yeah, say they pull off something crazy, right? Where they trade next year's pick, a next year pick for Debo. They can then draft another big time wide receiver or draft a left tackle. You have a shot at putting Maye in there then.
Why would the 49ers get rid of Debo?
Money.
Just because they don't have the cap. They don't have the cap space.
They basically, because Ayuk's contract's up. I think they franchise tagged him.
Okay.
So he needs a long-term deal. I don't think they can fit his long-term deal in there.
So they wouldn't trade both. They would only trade one guy.
I think they trade one. They have to pick between them.
So if
they also drafted a wide receiver.
If you're the 49ers, you're in a position where you're listening to Buffalo.
Yeah, you're listening.
Hey, I want Debo or I want Ayuk. Yeah. The Patriots, they're not getting rid of both of them. They're only going to get rid of one of them.
Yeah.
So they're going to go with the best deal.
But then you also look too, like what's the one that could impact you the least, right? If you figure that Buffalo is a contender, would you want to play them if you give them Debo? Or would you rather them go to New England where New England might not be good this year and then you don't have to worry about them? There's all these other factors that go into it. You factor if it's the next year's draft pick. You figure
next year doesn't
who's going to have the better draft pick. If they're both offering a 2 next year,
Yeah.
who's going to have the better one, Buffalo or New England?
Yeah, you would assume that
You'd assume it would be
New England has
the better pick.
higher pick. Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of different, and then there's the player too that has to kind of agree enough to it. Because like Ayuk, you can't trade for Ayuk and not sign him. Like you have to agree to the extension before you trade for him.
Yeah. So you'd have to have a contract in place.
So he can decide that. Debo can't really, right?
Because he already has the contract.
Yeah. So that's why I think Debo's going to get traded. I think Debo is the one that gets traded. Which I think
Debo, if you're the 49ers, I would think that they move away from the guy that's 2 years older.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. I think so too. And I think it's better for the Patriots to get the 2-year-older guy because I think he can fit what you're trying to do better with a rookie quarterback. Because he can, or even Jacoby in there, right? Like where he can run those bubble screens, he can take that hand off, he can run the revert, like he can do all these other things that Ayuk can't do.
Yeah.
You know, and then you get a better team control on him. Like, you know, you get him at like $23-24 million. His next contract should slot in maybe a little bit less than Ayuk's contract now because Debo will be a little bit older. I mean, it's probably a better deal for the Patriots to go after Debo.
So I was in Detroit yesterday.
And
Detroit?
You had an eventful flight, right? You got to start the flight.
Yeah. I walk into like the Delta area in Boston, and I had a sandwich. They had a Jimmy John's in like that area,
like
which
Jimmy John's.
I like to. They don't have them. Why don't they have Jimmy John's around here?
I don't know. I like Jimmy John's.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's from the Midwest, so there's Jimmy John's everywhere.
Got a bootlegger.
I get the number 13. It's a beach club, so it's like turkey, avocado, cucumber. It's like an avocado spread on the multigrain. It's the best. But anyway, I ordered the 12, and then what I didn't want.
How'd you do that?
I saw the beach club. I looked over, and my eyes must have went to 12. It was 13. I said 12. The girl, after the fact, the sandwich was made. I said, don't worry about it. I just left. But anyway, I got my sandwich, went over to the where the terminal is, sat down, enjoyed my ham. Ugh. Which I don't like ham. But anyway, they started boarding, and I look up. It's Bill. Bill's there. So I hit up Steve. I said, Steve, your dad's getting on the plane right now. He's going to Detroit. And he's like, I'm in a meeting. He's like, I'll call you after. So Bill goes on first class. He was like the first row left, right, in the first class. So when I walked on, because I wasn't first class. I was even more space.
They didn't fly you first class?
Well, you booked your flight, but you had it was like $1,500 for.
So you pocketed the rest of the money?
I was like $900, so it was like what, $600? It was like $900 there and back. So instead of going first, I was like, just give me even more space, first row. But anyway, so he was on his laptop, doing his thing. So I'm like, I'm not going to mess with him. So I go to my seat. I'm not going to, you're not going to, and then he's in a first class seat. Yeah. Who does that? Who does that? I'm not doing that. So, and he also had a hat on. He had like an army. And then he was like, nobody know. Here's the weird part. Not one person. I don't know if people don't realize who it is.
No, I think they know who he is.
Not one person talked to him.
You didn't talk to him.
No, what I'm saying,
played for him
anybody
for 9 years.
else.
You didn't talk to him.
I talked to him after the fact, after we got off.
Yeah, but I'm saying
before going on, I didn't walk up to him. I saw him going in. So I'm like, all right, I'm not like running up to the line. And then I waited for him to go on. Then I go past him. He's on his computer. I'm not going to disturb him. So when we were coming off, he got off. I get off. I just grabbed the back of his book bag. I said, oh, you got your suits in there for McAfee? He's like laughed, talked a little bit, talked about where he was going after this. And it's the people noticed him after the fact. So they're like, is that Bill Belichick? Like, I don't know if they just don't realize that that's Bill, because you assume maybe he doesn't fly. Maybe he's got a private jet or something, which
I thought he'd be an economy.
I mean, they'd have to fly. The Pat McAfee show probably flew him out there.
Yeah, have to.
Right?
Yeah, but I'm sure if he booked his own ticket, it would be like economy.
I don't think he cares.
He's
like, I'm going to make
21E.
But did you watch any of this stuff?
Well, I watched the first 5 minutes with no sound.
How does that happen?
DJ said it was on ESPN Plus. You could. There was
Oh,
sound,
okay.
But on YouTube there was no sound.
No sound.
The beginning was very boring. He got.
I
very
think everybody
good.
liked. Everyone liked the depth.
Yeah.
You know, people. That's the one thing I think people like the depth that Bill can get into, which most people don't ever get into it because they don't understand it. You know, like football in general. Bill has that knowledge that goes way beyond what you just think about the X's and O's, right? So when he gets into this stuff, I think people are like, "Oh, that's intriguing."
Yeah.
But
he was really good when the main show came on during the draft. He was really good.
I think Pat does a good job because number one, he's relaxed and just says whatever the hell he wants, and that's an environment that Bill can just kind of play off of that.
Yeah.
Good tease, you know, set him up good, talking about the guys, talking about the players, stuff that he's done his whole life. So it'll be interesting to see what network or what shows that he does during the season.
Yeah.
Like, will he do the pre-games? Will he do the
he's
post-game?
doing the Peyton Manning thing, I think.
He's doing the Manning cast?
I think so.
And the Mannings, dude, talk
He's
about
going to be on Mondays on
talk
McAfee.
about like a gig. They signed $100+ million contract. I think they're in their basement.
Yeah, I know.
Separate studios.
Yeah, they're each at their own house.
It's at their own house downstairs. You walk downstairs. Hey, babe, it's about 7 o'clock.
I'm going to work for 3 hours.
I got to go downstairs real quick.
I'll make my 50 mil.
Yeah, we'll make only like 15 mil this year off of just that. It's freaking awesome. But that's, hey, when you, I love the Mannings though.
It's good.
They're fun because they just, similar to McAfee, it's not the typical like presentation of how the people like in general. Well, this is Monday Night Football. They say it how it is.
What do you think about Bill's assessment of Drake Maye?
I think it was similar to what everybody said about his assessments. Now, the only thing that he was saying that the needs of the Patriots were basically because he didn't address those needs, right? Like, they need a quarterback. Yeah. They need a tackle. Yeah. They need a receiver. Yeah.
They need a corner.
Like, well, why is that? Is that because there wasn't anything there, really? You know, so that was, I mean, I think the way that he presented it, it's what everyone was saying before the draft. Like, Drake Maye's got footwork, needs to work on his footwork, check. Accuracy, check. Yeah. You know, all the things that everyone was saying, he just repeated it. But I don't think Bill picks him.
He was high on Bo Nix.
Yeah, because it's the IQ stuff. Like those guys, those coaches. So Sean and Bill and all those guys, when a young kid could walk in and be like, oh, yeah, let's cover 2, and I'm going to go vertical seam there, and cover 3, I'm going to do the corner out there and the post corner. That's where it works here. And, oh, cover 1, let's stack these up and let's pick them off. Like, and they're like, oh, yes, they're so smart. And then, like, I don't think that Bill would draft. If Bill was in this draft at 3, there's no way he takes Drake Maye.
Yeah, I don't think he fits his style.
I don't think.
He would be
because he didn't like Josh Allen.
Yeah, he would be more of like a Penix or Nix type.
He didn't like Josh Allen when he came out.
McCarthy.
Like basically now he's a big Josh Allen fan.
Yeah,
like everyone knows Josh Allen's a beast. But when Josh Allen was from Idaho coming in the NFL,
yeah, Bill was abusing him.
It's just like, leave the safeties there.
Yeah.
You know, bait him into this. He's not smart enough to realize it, and then the dude just developed into a freak. So.
But that's the patience for Patriots fans you got to see, though, is because people I don't think remember Josh Allen was not very good his first couple of years in Buffalo. He was not very good.
No,
a ton of interceptions.
He started right away though.
Yeah, right away.
But
he was not very good. But I mean, that's the thing that you got to take that patience with. You got to see that big play potential and see him get a few.
He's also going to get. So he's 21 years old.
Yeah.
By the time when you're 21 years old, by the time he's 24 years old. I think a lot of people are comparing to Josh Allen. He's going to be as big as Josh Allen as far as size. He's going to get
Josh Allen
bigger.
might be like an inch or 2 bigger than him.
I'm saying like he's gonna get
he's gonna
wider.
get stronger.
He's gonna get bigger. Like he's a kid
Yeah, he's
still.
like 220 or 230.
He's
right
gonna
now.
be-
He'll be like 240, right?
I bet you he'll be 235.
Yeah.
Like big dude. You know, 235. Play at 235.
It was crazy watching him because he's a big kid, but him standing next to Cam Newton, he looked fucking tiny next to Cam.
Cam's
Newton.
a freak too.
Cam's
man.
fucking huge.
Cam, dude, I'm telling you, the first time I saw Cam Newton walk onto the field, I looked at him and I just go, I don't know, man. I don't think I got it. This guy's way too big.
Yeah, he's fucking
He is a
huge.
massive dude, and he used to wear that back plate and the freaking the extra large like
Yeah.
rib protector with the back plate. Like, dude, this dude's it's a big ass
Big guy.
dude, man.
Back to Bill. So, what do you think about their reports that Bill kind of got sabotaged out of Atlanta, the Atlanta job?
Where does that come from? Dude, you know what I know, but when I watch what was I watching
came
on?
from Seth Wickerman, the guy that fucking
Who's
came up
that?
with. He's the guy that came up with all the that did like Spygates and all that.
That guy
stuff.
seems like they have a
He knows
vendetta
everything.
about something though.
But he would go after Bill like he didn't.
Why
have-
I feel like he has I don't know how accurate that is, because I feel like if you are
I think it's fully accurate.
listen, I look on my phone every freaking day and I watch some stupid shit on that, don't
That's Seth Wickersham.
where does he live? I've never seen a picture of Seth
From
Wickersham.
Alaska.
Alaska? What
That's what it says.
the hell?
I'm reading what it says.
Alaska.
I think he's from around here now.
It's a
He
quirky
grew up
spot.
in Alaska.
I grew up in Alaska.
He's a native of Anchorage, Alaska. Went to Robert Service High School.
That's okay. Reporter? Is he a reporter?
He's a reporter for ESPN.
Is he?
Yeah.
How come I've never seen the guy? Does he go on TV?
No, not very often. He writes a lot of books and stuff like that.
Huh.
I think he wrote The Dynasty, didn't he?
Is that the guy? No, that's not the guy that did the Dynasty, is it? The documentary or something else?
I forget what he wrote. He wrote something. I think he wrote The Dynasty.
Well, the Dynasty book? No.
Yeah.
Jeff Benedict.
Oh, okay.
Eggs Benedict.
Wickersham had a bunch of stuff.
I know, but it seems to always be negative. I'm in this positive state of mind right now.
But
I'm trying to be
fucking
positive.
Reporter is negative.
know.
There isn't. They don't report anything positive.
You just got to surround yourself with positivity.
But what do you think of it though? Do you think that could have possibly happened?
I think no, I don't think if you are an owner, you especially I think these guys work independently because they're so successful and they think that they're the smartest guys in the world, which a lot of them are very smart. But I don't see that. I don't know. Maybe it happened, maybe it didn't happen, but
If it did happen, does that bother you?
what was the exact extent of what was the exact thing that said? Like Bill's too controlling or something?
He said that he was not trustworthy.
I would love to know how the hell that guy found that out. Because I don't think that's true. I don't think it's accurate. I think it's all bullshit, honestly.
I'm saying, but if it is accurate,
that's like saying if you put mayonnaise on a sandwich,
but then
you put on a
how
peanut
does
butter
Bill
and jelly,
go,
that it would
how does
taste
Bill go from being the front runner,
taste great.
meeting blank on his boat and everything, coming back in to interview again, and then all of a sudden he wasn't. The GM said Bill wasn't even in the
Because
top 3 candidates.
That's what the interview process
No,
is.
stop.
You're
Nobody
going
goes
through
to
the interview process.
Nobody goes to the owner's private boat as the first interview.
Sure you do. When they're
No, they
trying to
don't. No,
brag
they
about what
don't.
they have. Hey,
Why?
come on my
If you're
private
bragging
jet.
about what you have,
Come
you're
on
trying
my
to get
boat.
the guy to come there.
Yeah, you're trying to show them like, hey, I'm very successful, just like you. Oh, you have rings? You took a ring from me? You don't have a boat like this. Like those guys work like that all the
No.
time.
No, Bill was the front runner for the job.
I don't think so. I think
100% he was.
I think it was that they put that out there because it makes the Falcons look like they've had multiple prospects. They're looking at all these guys, and Bill Belichick, the guy that beat them in their Super Bowl, the last one, is the guy that they're going to bring in to save the day, knowing that they're going to go with a young guy. And in Atlanta, I mean, we had the freaking DJ thing. You imagine Bill walking out to the DJ? Like, I don't think that was going to, I didn't know that was going to happen. I really didn't. And Bill's probably happy that he's not coaching right now.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
He's going to make a shit ton of money on television.
How long?
He's probably going to make
what's
$40 million.
For now, 40 years. You think he needs to make any more money?
No.
When was the last time you think he bought a pair of clothes? Like went to the store and paid money for it?
I'd love to know where he shops.
That's what I mean.
Like, where do you go?
Like Marshalls.
Brooks Brothers. No,
Probably
he gets
Marshalls.
a nice button-up.
No, he probably gets them. They probably send them to him.
Yeah.
Suits don't even fit him that he wears. He doesn't even get it
They're
tailored.
not. Dudes, hey,
You saw him on the plane.
Guy's
Did he
loaded,
look?
man.
Did he look a very?
I think he had jeans, a vest on, then
and it had
a couple
some
of
like
suit bags,
yeah,
hat, or I think it was an army hat. I don't know. It was a black. I don't know. But anyway,
yeah, that's what it is. Though.
the guy doesn't. I don't know. He's probably got it. His Nantucket house is probably pretty expensive. I don't know.
Well, he's not in it.
His real estate.
He doesn't
Yeah,
have
he
any
still
second
have that.
No, I think doesn't the girlfriend have it?
He's got multiple. Dude, the guy's made a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's got multiple spots.
It's 15 minutes from the press conference for Drake Maye.
Oh, he's here?
Yeah.
I wonder where do you think, so Drake Maye, you think they fly him to Norwood or you think they fly him into Boston?
I bet they flew him in Rhode Island.
In Providence?
Yeah. On like Southwest.
No.
Yeah.
No. They went and the PJ was there.
No.
Yes, the PJ. Yes.
No.
They haven't had a draft pick this high in a long time. The PJ.
Maybe they put him on Delta.
No, the PJ was there, bro. The PJ's here. They're private jetting back. Where are they going to stop on Route 1? Get them a nice sandwich somewhere. I'm telling you, now you go into the building. It's a beautiful day. The sun's out.
I know.
It's actually not gray. And
well, he's going to stay here for a few days, isn't he?
You got to wait for the Celtics to come back. You bring them. I wish the Celtics were home. You bring them to that game. You put them on the side.
He's going to be here for a couple
Put
of
on
days.
the court, right on the side. You freaking bang.
Well,
Drake Maye.
The game. You know who was right on RKK's hip?
Who?
Dev.
When?
At the game.
Oh, he was at the game?
Yeah.
Dev. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't know Dev was in. I was in Florida.
You didn't get the invite?
I could go to a Celtics game.
With RKK sitting
Yeah, I
there?
could, yeah.
No, you fucking
I'm
can't.
going to call him right now.
Go ahead. Go.
Let me see. Call him. RKK, where you at, man?
You don't even have his number.
I have it in there somewhere.
It's his assistant's number.
Robert Kraft.
There's an extension on it, like extension 101.
Extension. Hi, you've reached the office of Robert Kraft.
He doesn't even know who you are.
No, not anymore. Moves on real fast. I got to pee.
I think it's probably a wrap then.
I think it is. All right, we'll see what the
it's gonna be an
Patriots do
exciting
today.
day today, I think. I keep checking my phone to see if there's been like a trade that's been done. Oh, wait. No, Drake Maye, hold on. He did come out of a plane. He came out of the...
That's the PJ. That's the G6. Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah. That's the blue, white G6. That's the biggest one they got.
Yeah, you're right. He is on that one.
Yeah.
Surprised not on Delta. What airport is it, though? They're going to have a site of it. I think that's Providence.
Let me see. They're walking. No, that's Norwood.
Oh, really?
He's in Norwood.
Wow.
Right there.
Right there.
Pick him up.
Ready to
The
go.
family's not there.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I thought they would bring...
Family don't come together.
Yeah. There was only room for one. They had to pay extra.
He's got 3 PJs.
What?
He's got 3 private jets.
Probably more than that.
Probably.
Jay-Z bought him a car.
Better than Puffy.
Maybe he did.
Maybe he did. All right.
But I think it's a wrap. Hopefully, we'll see tonight. We'll see the Patriots pick up another weapon, another receiver weapon, either through trade or through the draft, and then, maybe a tackle. And they'll be off and running for a spectacular season this season.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I'm ready, man. Brunt,
ready for
got
it?
my Brunt hat on. They sent me this golf. You got a golf hat, golf tee.
Yeah. We got Cliffstone. Put that up. Cliffstone Corporation is up.
Cliffstone. You need any hardscapes, patios, any of your landscaping needs. Cliffstone.
Yep. So we'll see you guys soon. Check us out on danandninko.com, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Subscribe to YouTube, TikTok, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you guys.